Welcome back to Vlogmas Small Business Grant Edition, where we are doing 25 grants in 25 days. So turn on your bell so you do not miss any of these amazing grant opportunities. Go back and watch all of the grants that have been posted, and most of these grants have absolutely no deadline. And yes, the grant that we are talking about today, no deadline. And this grant opportunity ranges from $10,000 up to $500,000. Now, $500,000 is going to be quite difficult to get. So we're going to focus on $10,000, or somewhere in between $10,000 and $500,000. But this grantor, y'all, you only have to answer 2 questions. And the first question is only 1,500 words. And then the second question, 1 sentence. So I know you got 5 to 10 minutes to possibly walk away with $10,000 for your business. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I am Ebony, a licensed attorney out of the state of Missouri, and on this channel, we focus on grants, legal tips, and setting a foundation for your business to get you to generational wealth, because yes, money is good, but we want our money to serve generation after generation after generation. Check out the Small Business Grant playlist. There are several opportunities listed there. I post no deadline grants in there. I post no business needed grants in there. I post global opportunities in there. I post industry specific grants in there. And now, y'all, we have Vlogmas, which is 25 grants in 25 days. And I have 2 books. That first book is, the ebook for people that's like, I just want to read the information. I don't want to do too much more. Give me the content and I'll figure it out on my own. And then I have a workbook. It is 130 pages of content. It has quizzes in there. It has sample answers. It has fill in the blanks. It has where to find grants. And both of these books are going to talk about if you get the grant, if you don't get the grant, applying for grants, where to find grants. And if you're like, I don't know if I'm ready to purchase, I'm going to leave a link in the description to the website so you can go and check out some of those 5-star reviews so you can make a more informed decision before spending your money. And if you would like to further support the channel so I can continue to provide these resources free of charge on YouTube, come on over to the Patreon. I'm going to quickly share my screen so you can see what's in there in case you want to join. Here's the Patreon. Yes, information is locked. However, once you become a member, the information will be unlocked. I post different grants in here. I post cohorts. I post articles. As you can see, this $15,000 grant. We had an accelerator. I post some of the YouTube videos, especially in case, your bell is on, and it should be. And somehow, YouTube don't tell you, so you don't miss those opportunities. But essentially, I post anything that I think will be helpful for you while you're on your entrepreneurship journey. But we don't want to stay over there too long because we're trying to figure out how can we get access to $10,000 and possibly $500,000. Yes, $10,000 and possibly $500,000. This grantor has 3 different programs. So there are 3 opportunities for you to walk away with free money that you do not have to pay back. But before we do that, y'all already know, leave me a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know what type of business you have, city, state, and/or industry, because I am pulling from the comments, and possibly I can find a grant in your city, state, and/or industry that shows up in Vlogmas or thereafter, because I'm still going to be doing those weekly grants once I finish with this 25 grants in 25 days. And y'all, your girl's tired. So I hope you all are enjoying the content that I am currently putting out. Now with this grantor, you only have to be a minimum of 13 years of age. So if you have a youth that is like, I have an idea and I really want to get financial support, they are potentially eligible to walk away with $10,000. They probably won't get the $500,000, but $10,000 at 13 to support an idea that is dear to them would possibly be invaluable to them. Now, the first question, although it is 1,500 words, is essentially your proposal. However, what the grantor did, they broke down things that they are looking for inside of your proposal that is 1,500 words or less. So you must be concise because there are several things that they want you to answer inside of this proposal. The first thing they want you to talk about is tell them your personal story and how it relates to your work. What I thought was kind of funny. They said, we are not interested in your degrees, your awards, your formal education, or your credentials. They're like, look, as I've said in previous videos, they want some type of emotion. They want to connect with you on a personal level. And just saying your credentials, like I can say, I'm a lawyer. I've been practicing for 15 years and I was born in St. Louis, Missouri. That's not telling them anything about why generational wealth is important to me. If I were to say to them, I grew up in one of the poorest communities in St. Louis, Missouri, and I saw drive-by shootings, I saw dead bodies, and I knew that I did not want that to continue to be the life that I lived. And now that I have made it, out of the hood, I want to make sure that I'm reaching back and giving back to individuals that are in similarly situated situations as myself. That grantor is going to say, okay, it makes sense why generational wealth is so important to her. It's because she has a lived experience and she transitioned to a space where she is getting closer to generational wealth and she wants to give back to her community. So make sure that you are providing something that differentiates you from all of the applicants that they are going to have. And you want to make sure that whatever your idea is innovative. Because that's another one of the questions. They said, what makes yours unique? Whatever your idea is. And again, this goes back to what makes you stand out. If there's 100 people that are doing the exact same thing, why am I going to stop at number 53 and say, actually, I want to work with you instead of all of the other individuals that are doing the exact same thing that you're doing? And this one was kind of different. What is a mainstream or consensus that you agree with? So that's something where you're going to have to dig deep. And it's also giving them a glimpse into who you are as a person based off of things that you agree with, I guess, and or disagree with, because there's so many things to agree with and you're going to select one thing. For example, I believe that all human beings should have access to housing, right? That makes absolutely no sense that in the United States, we have such a large amount of individuals that are homeless. And then another thing that is different, you have to describe your idea in a tweet, which is now X. And I'm not on the platform, I haven't used it, so I am not going to be the best person to let you know what sounds like a tweet. But what I pull from that is that I think it's 140 characters. So they're trying to see how concise can you be, and then how influential can you be with such a limited amount of character count. And then now the two other programs, the next program is for individuals that are immersed in research. And when they say research, they're talking about critical research. And an example that they gave was scientists that were focused on COVID. Now, those individuals walked away with $500,000. That is why I think that it would be a challenge if your idea, or I'm talking about generational wealth, and I say, give me $500,000. They probably won't give me access to $500,000. And the third category is for individuals that are focused on underrepresented talent in the STEM field. Now, this grant is for individuals that are trying to figure out how to develop such talent. So it could be training that you want to pay for. It could be paying for them to have access to go to certain schools. So this is something where you would typically be working with youth and or college students that are in the STEM industry, and they want to make sure that these individuals are professionally developed in the same way that their counterparts are. Now, y'all, leave a comment. Let me know where you're watching from, city, state, and or industry, because 25 grants in 25 days for Vlogmas, and I do hope that you are enjoying it. It's going to get us so much closer to generational wealth and so much more quickly. Now, with all of that, let's look at this grant. All right, y'all, this grant opportunity is the Emergent Ventures Grant, but it is sponsored by George Mason University. And as I stated at the top of the video, they have multiple grant opportunities. They have the Emerging Ventures, which is a low overhead fellowship and grant program. So you can potentially get a fellowship, or you can get a grant opportunity depending on which one you apply for. And then we talked about the FAST grants for STEM talent identification, and then FAST grants for fast funding for COVID-19 science. And when they say fast funding, you literally get funded within 2 weeks. We go and click apply now. We've already talked about the grant, but I do want to highlight the fact where they say the first part of the proposal should be about you. And they say we probably don't care much about your formal education, credentials, or awards unless they're particularly germane to who you are or your idea. And then my project will affect, because this is a global grant opportunity, y'all. So wherever you are in the world, you are potentially eligible to walk away with this money. And then you're going to give them your information, which we talked about, your proposal. You're going to pick which category. And then how do you describe your idea in a tweet, which we talked about. Tell us about your proposal. Please upload any supporting documentation here. We're going to upload resumes, business plan, pitch deck, and any other things that would be useful for the grantor to look at. If you already have a flyer, if you have a pamphlet, if you have information or photos, or you work in the community already, if you have data that supports the idea that you would like to implement, anything that is going to be useful, but do not inundate them with things that they do not need to look at. And then if you would like to link to a multimedia file to support your application, i.e., let's say you record a YouTube video, you can put that link in here. I recommend doing it. I always say, if the grantor is saying you would, or you can, or if you want to, you want to. Because somebody sat at the table and said, these might be some good things for us to look at, but I guess if they don't have them, we could still look at their application. No, we're giving all the documentation, and we're going to give them a multimedia file so they can see your face, and they're really going to connect with you as a person, because then you can show them your personality. And then their legal notices, you're going to make sure you consent. Remember, you only have to be 13 years of age or older to potentially walk away with this grant opportunity that ranges from $10,000 up to $500,000. And then once you submit, and then a grantor calls you, especially if you're getting a fast one, so in 2 weeks, and say, cha-ching, you got the money, we're going to come back here, because you're going to leave me that comment, and we're going to celebrate you because you're getting that much closer to generational wealth, which is the goal of this channel. And of course, like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out the ebook, check out the workbook, check out the Patreon, check out the small business grant playlist, all things to support the channel, but most importantly, to support yourself as you continue to be on this journey of getting closer to generational wealth. But as always, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to spend with me virtually. I want to thank you for supporting the channel, and wherever you are in the world, I hope that you are having a beautiful day, and I will see y'all next time.